Welcome to Channel AMEC, your insight to the Australian visa system. Good day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your online YouTube visa consultant. Are you interested about migrating to Australia? Why don't you consider to subscribe to my channel and turn on the little bell on side so once we have all the updates and news, you'll be the first one of getting all the insight. Now today, obviously follow on from yesterday's announcement on Victoria State Government. Now, we don't have any other state government following up on that one, but the federal government, the Treasurer, Dr. Jim Chalmers, do have some good news for all of you who wanted to migrate to Australia through skill migration. What is the news? Well, obviously you probably have clicked into this video because of the title. It says the increase of migration quota. Now it's very welcome and it's actually within my prediction as well. So, well, make sure you subscribe to my channel and share with your friends and mates as I have frequently updating you information and prediction on the future migration trend. Now, what have I predicted? Well, obviously, since the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, it struck the whole industry, economy, and through the history of Australia, they usually take the migration, well, strategically utilizing it to actually produce a good outcome for the economy. Now, this time, nothing really new. As I had predicted back in 2020, I said that about 3 years of time, they should utilize this as a strategy and tool to help the economy of Australia. So here we go. We have the change of government. Obviously, the former government has tried to cut down the migration quota, but it has caused a lot of problem. So we got skill shortage in Australia, and now more than ever, Australia needs you to help the economy. So let's have a look at the news, and I'll go through the news, and at the end of this video I'll also have my little bit of summary of what I will foresee in the future. So this is coming from Mail One Online. Okay, now I don't really like this media because it does have a lot of ads all around, and I try to turn them off already. But let's have a read the title: How Immigration is Set to Hit Record Highs Under Anthony Albanese with rules ease to let more foreign workers in than ever before help business recover from COVID-19. So, and you can actually Google and find this news articles. Talk about Dr. Jim Chalmers, who's a treasurer, is looking to obviously gone through a radio interview. But I would like to take you to this news article from Financial Review Australia. This is much better and clear media, which you can see there's not much of job ads all around. So anyway, it's from 11th of August, which came out late yesterday. But obviously yesterday has been hyped up with all the information and news about Victorian government's state government skill migration criteria. But let's have a look. The Albanese government will, here we go, boost migration at October budget. So obviously that's right after the Skill and Jobs Summit on the 1st and 2nd September. Well, I suspect, again, the Skill and Jobs Summit is, well, don't want to say a show, but technically it is, by inviting 100 attendees from stakeholders all around Australia nationwide. For what? For obviously for Skill and Job Summit. And how do we solve the skill and job problem in Australia? Obviously, if everybody's already got jobs, we need more jobs to be placed. Obviously, we need people to come from overseas. So that, again, that's straightforward. I've predicted this a couple of months ago, and it's come in fruition into effect now. So skill pledge to clear the way for migration. A grand bargain will seek to address the concern of both business union movements. So obviously the union wanted to have some protection mechanism, making sure that their job is not taken away by the migrant. But anyway, I think those workers in Australia now, the job vacancy rate is actually very, very low. So I don't think the union will have much of a bargaining power there, but they just want to play something there to ensure that they have their rights to be safe and protected. As recently as Thursday, that's yesterday, Treasurer Jim Chalmers reassured the union movement of migration would not be substituted for improving skill of locals. So there will be more, I think, funds going to train the skills. But then obviously there's not enough people. I think most of the people have been trained and they got work already. The problem now is we don't have enough people in Australia to address the skill shortage. So skill and education will be focused on the summit. Also, we need to move all fronts simultaneously. What simultaneously with that? Migration. So migration here is the vital key to actually help and stimulate the Australian economy. An increase of migration program and change to its composition will be contingent on union training demand being made. So last month, Home Affairs Minister Claire O'Neill revealed this size. Well, I don't know the size. Well, she revealed the size, but I don't know exactly what size that she wants to be. But my prediction will be right around 200k, 200,000 quota, probably a little bit more, to make up the migration program being reviewed. Why do I predict that? Well, pretty obvious, because we are backlogged. The issue with backlog, and the backlog is not going to solve the current issue as well. So we need more people to come in. So obviously that's going to be hit record high as required to actually fix the problem, fix the economy. It is understood the migration changes yet to be finalized will be rushed into in October 25th budget, but I think they do have those new rules in their hands. They just wanted to get onto the job and skills summit on September to get all the nod and understood by the stakeholders, and then I think it will be rolled out straight away. And that's why we have seen the state governments, for example in Tasmania, and yesterday from Victorian government, they basically want anyone in any occupation. They're happy to get them nominated as long as they are going through the criteria EOI and ROI. Now rest of this news article, that it goes beyond to talk about other things. So again, business group. Now this business group has been saying this since last year. They need to lift the cap to at least 200,000. So I think it's going to be a lot more than that. And then obviously talking about the economy and the ACTU stuff, I don't think this is really quite relevant to us for migration industry. But again, let's just recap all this. So basically yesterday, the Treasurer Dr. Jim Chalmers has called, and we now can confirm that an increase of migration quota and intake annually will take place. Now, so what is the number? We don't know. In the news article says the Minister of Home Affairs, Claire O'Neill, has confirmed the number, but I don't know the number. But I think it's definitely going to be higher than 160,000. But how high? Business group want more than 200,000. So I think a little bit more than 200,000 is going to be reasonable. Why? We need to address the backlog, how many backlog cases out there, and also address the skill shortage issue. Now, we need to know the background here is that most of Australian workers nowadays have jobs. Now, if they all have jobs, can they take a second job? Well, perhaps they can if they don't have any kids to take care of. But if they don't have the capacity to take a second job. Obviously, you need, and Australia needs, more skilled migrants, and that's the way it is. And a skilled migrant does not just replace the jobs vacancy there, but it also boosts the economy, require especially as the country of Australia has been through a blockage for 2 years due to COVID-19 pandemic. I think the time has come. So are you ready for migrate to Australia? Anyway, I think the future is very hopeful and great. I see you next video. Goodbye.